Hey guys, another video. Fifth video in the series about alternative recovery methods. Now this one, probably be the final one, last one, unless I come up with something else. But this one is about the Tirfor. Arguably the most versatile and handy bit of recovery kit you can possibly have. It is pretty cheap to buy when you really weigh it up compared to fitting an electric winch to your vehicle. No need to run power cables, no need to mount a bull bar. All you need is a bit of space in the boot for the steel wire rope, the winch itself, and the handle. Now this one's seen better days, as you can see, however it's still effective, still pretty tough. Tirfor Winch brand are made, I think, France. Top quality stuff. Patent run out on their previous design. It was a cast design instead of pressed plate, and there's lots of manufacturers pumping out cheap versions of that design. You can buy them on eBay or at most cheap places, and you can guess where they're made, and you can guess what they're made of, Chinese, and you can guess what quality they're at. So if you want something reliable, spend a bit of extra. You might even be able to find these things on eBay secondhand or marketplace, wherever you look. Yeah, someone might be selling them on secondhand. Now this one here is rated at 3.2 tons. This is the T532 model. It's rubbed out there, but anyway, it's rated at 3.2 ton. Oh yeah, it's there. Kilograms safe working load. Now that's lifting. The great thing about these things is, while it's rated at that, that's got a massive safety factor to it. And the rope, I think, got 16mm rope. I think it's rated at 20 something ton. So it's a pretty rugged unit. You can hold a lot more than what it can pull. And it's got a fail safe up here. This is the pulling lever. This is the winch out lever, basically. And it's got a brass pin through there, and it's a shear pin. So if you push too hard on that, you are the motor in this case. To do a workout, you are the motor instead of electric motor. If you pull too hard on with the lever, you'll snap that shear pin, so you won't overload it. It carries spare shear pins, although this one's got no cap on the other end, so there's no shear pins spare in there. So I'm just going to set you down back over here, and I'll give you a little demo on how to operate this machine. Pretty straightforward. So firstly, you've got your steel wire rope. Now you want to stretch this stuff out, otherwise you'll end up with knots. But yeah, bear with me. Alright, I'm back. So get your rope all sprawled out. Now if you just try to feed that in through the hole here, it's not going to go in. You got a clutch mechanism type thing here. Just make sure you're going to be able to see what I'm doing there. Zoom up a smidge. Right, you stand this baby up like this, and you push this lever down until it catches there. Some of them have got a little yellow locking latch that you may need to turn, but this one does not have that. Once that's forward, now, important thing with that is don't store it with that pushed forward. That's pulling the springs, stretching the springs, opening the jaws up inside so that this rope can feed in there. Still need to jiggle it around to find the holes. You may need to just use the levers to just wiggle around until you find where it'll go through. There we go. Just keep feeding that through. And probably, yep, so you'll see just in there, it's poking out through this rubber here. That's where it's supposed to be. It's running into this pin, see, so I've got to sort of push it down and keep feeding it in until it comes through. It does take a bit of effort, okay? Once that's through, again, it's going to take a bit of effort, but you need to pull all the slack through. So you hook the hook onto what you're going to be pulling, or at least lay it next to it. Just now, as you see, this takes a bit of effort too. Righto, once that's all through, once the excess is all through, now you need to pop this down so that it grabs hold of your rope. Just give it a bit of a hit like that, and she'll pop down. Other variants, as I said, have a little lever here. You may need to turn, so in that case, you'll have to. There we go. In that case, you'll have to take the tension off this, turn it to unhook it, and then release. Alright, that's locked onto that. Now, that one for winching forward, that one for winching out. Now, this one doesn't need to have a shear pin, only this one, because this one you're winching out, you take the tension off. And this one for winching in. Alright. Now down this end, I'm going to hook that onto what I'm going to be pulling, and at this end I need to hook something onto this pin, and that's to our anchor point. Cool? Alright. Righto, so this load cell here is rated at 50 tonne, so it's a little bit overkill. However, it's still pretty accurate, and it's got increments of 10 kilograms, so it'll work just fine for what we're doing. So once we've got that hooked up there, we've just got this hooked up with a couple of pieces of old ratchet strap. As I said in the previous video, they're rated at 6 tonne frame strain, but a few knots involved here and whatever, so it's going to be a lot less than that. But that'll be our weak point, one of these straps. So we've got a strap here doubled up, strap there doubled up, and a strap there doubled up, there and there. So one of these straps is going to be a weakest link, and something will snap. So that's always important when you're doing recoveries, especially when you start getting up in the tonnage, which is what this Tirfor will allow us to do, that you have a weakest link. So the other thing you got here is the handle. The handle will have a little detent in it. It's a 2-piece. It'll extend out so it's twice the length. Alright, so it'll give you a bit more leverage. Anyway, I'll set you down over here now that you can see what's going on here. Obviously that would be our bogged vehicle or whatever we're trying to pull. We wouldn't have a load cell, but for this occasion, the experiment, trying to figure out how much pull we get out of it. So we'll use a load cell. I'll set you down just here so you can see what I'm doing. And you can see the screen there, hopefully no shine on it. I might just zero that. Alright. Alright, let's get this going, because I'm losing light. Righto. Once that's all, got all my slack pulled out of there, pop that down so we've engaged the jaws on the rope. We're ready to start pulling. With our lever, extend it out. Now this has got a little notch in the round piece of pipe. It's got a little notch there, and there's a little bump here, like a little pimple on this little lever. There's got one on this one too, but on this little bump there, you just put that down and then rotate, and it can't come off, so it's fixed in. We'll extend that out. Now there is a little, this handle is a bit buggered. There's a little spring, should be inside here, should pop out through a little hole here when you extend it out. This one's not there, so it just jams in place there. As you can see, like I said before, it's seen better days. So anyway, we're ready to go, so all we're going to do is just start levering. Now you can see, you probably can't see in the starting to lose light here. We're going about maybe 15-20 millimeters for each time I lay the lever over. So obviously if your vehicle is down a hill, you're trying to pull it up out of a hill, it's going to take a bit of time and a bit of effort. Now you'll see I'm using this lever. I've got this standing up straight and I'm standing up over it like this. Up here high on my body is where I've got no leverage, so I can't pull very hard on this. So the best thing to do, you don't have to have it upright, you've got to lay it over. So you lay it over like that. Down here, down low, is where I've got a lot more leverage. And you should start seeing that increments coming up pretty hard. You can sort of visually see, and I can definitely feel, there's a lot less force that I'm putting in here compared to, say, the ratchet straps or the Spanish windlass or those other methods. So at some point we're going to snap something here, be one of the straps. This is rated at 3.2 as we mentioned before, and I've sort of I've used these a fair bit, so I've sort of got it figured out how much effort I need to put in to snap the shear pin. So I'm not going to take it anywhere near that today because we'll have a strap snap before that point. I demonstrated that for some people recently, and so yeah, it takes a bit of effort, but me, 75 kgs, I can snap that pin, so it gives you a bit of an idea. Anyway, comes down to technique here too. Have the lever down low, just go back and forth. When it starts getting real heavy, you can pull like you're rowing and throw your body weight into it. A little bit of a side to side method. Now, another point I'll just mention is that I'm standing off to the side of it. Now you'll notice in the other videos I was sort of hopping over the rope and whatever, and some of you might pick that saying, oh, that's a safety issue. Well, when you're tying down a load with a ratchet strap, you're pulling up to, well, as you saw how much load you can pull with a ratchet strap. You know, you're climbing all over your load and your ratchet straps and everything. Okay, because it's a low amount of tonnage. It's not unsafe. When you start getting up into higher tonnage of pull, there's more potential for things to fly and injuries to happen. So obviously if things are going to break, it's going to go that way or that way. It's not going to come out sideways. So out sideways is the safest area. Obviously you've got to be close enough that you can use the lever and operate the winch. So that's why it's important, as I always say, in any recovery situation, to have the weakest link be a piece of synthetic, or try to have as much synthetic and as little metal in the equation as possible. Obviously using one of these winches, it's metal, it's heavy, and so is the steel wire rope. The rest of your recovery setup, if you can, use synthetic, much safer. Anyway, I could go on for ages about safety points and things, but just keep in mind, try to have a weakest link and try to be out of the way of the direction of fly. Anyway, let's crank this up and snap something. How are we going for tension? Woohoo! There we go. So 2.64 tonne we got before our strap down that end snapped. Not too bad, out of a ratchet strap full of knots that's been used, and it's pretty shaggy. And as you would have noticed, there's a lot less effort there using the Tirfor than it was with the other methods if you've seen those videos. I've run out of light out there in the darkness, so I'm here in the garage with some light. Let me know if you got something out of that video. Hope you liked the Tirfor. It was visually, and trust me, using my arms was a lot easier than doing the other methods. You might have noticed that. So let me know in the comments down below if you thought the Tirfor was the better option. Is it worth carrying that extra weight of the Tirfor compared to carrying a bundle of ratchet straps? Do you think you could get more out of ratchet straps if you used a few extras? Anyway, your thoughts down below. I'll put a link up here if you haven't seen the other videos. Otherwise, just follow me channel thing down there. Make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate that. But more importantly, I just hope you got something out of the video and had a laugh at me, or thought these recovery methods were good. Tell me if I did something wrong, or what your thoughts were on it with the comparisons, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.